Sucks. So, I've been streaming now for about a little bit more than 3 months. Usually the Wi-Fi is pretty good. If you've tuned in the last few months, you may have noticed a couple disconnects. Has to do with latency. I've done as much as I can with the Wi-Fi. Might have to come up with a different solution. Ethernet's probably not going to work for the setup. So might have to do the third option, which is some sort of like power connector thing. What's weird is that usually it cropped up with like N64 games. So there'd be certain types of N64 games where I thought it had to do with what was being displayed on screen, like the bitrate and like frames per second and stuff. But it just disconnected after 10 minutes playing this, which is like very, very basic. And I had no issues yesterday with Metroid Prime 2. So, I don't know. I only got an hour and a half today anyway. So if it disconnects, that's too bad. We're trying. Let's make some progress, make a few levels. So we're going to be in biofuels to start. We have 3 different levels we're going to make today. We're going to make a biofuels level, we're going to make a windmills level, and then we're going to make an omega level. We have how many more levels yet to make in the game? 28. So after today, we'll have 25 levels left. And then from that point, it's on to playtesting and coding and stuff. Alright, so let's just get right to it. I have a good idea of what we've done before. And we're just going to do it. So we got to clean up our little map. Put the bricks over there. Save this as 94. Itchy nose. Itchy nose. Okay. So we've done some pictures. We made a really bad walrus. I don't want to show that right now. And his little son. What we're going to do is probably just do a design. What mechanics have we used before we're combining biofuels? I think we, if I go down here, handy dandy Excel spreadsheet. Scroll to the right. So we've done 2 with pollen and light, 2 with rotate, 2 with nuclear, 1 with moving. Probably another pollen moving level. I'm surprised there isn't 2. So we're going to do a pollinator moving level. Just to get a sense of the other one. Just hop over to it. It is migration. It's not apparent that things are moving. And then when you start, you can see that the color blocks are moving around. But we do have the ability to use biomatter to change color. Sounds pretty cool. I like the diagonals. We don't have as many levels with like diagonals like this and just like a simple rotating around like that. Sounds good. So we're going to do something similar. At this point in time, we're not going to do an additional feature to make the pollen blocks rotate. That would actually be pretty complex in terms of like how long. Like there's going to be a like pollen or flower effect for when the pollen like shoots out and changes the color of the blocks. So if it's moving, that's supposed to be instantaneous. But if it's moving, it would look like however long the animation is, it would affect things around it. So it's not only a technical or coding issue or feature to build out, it's also a aesthetic and like game design feature of how that might work. So we're not going to do that. I think what I want to do is something that's somewhat interesting with how the blocks are moving. So I think it'd be pretty cool to do something. We haven't done like a sine wave. If I just kind of like did something like this. Just like a wave, you know? Some sort of wave like that. And then it could come back. Like that. And with that sine wave, maybe in the gaps, you could put some bricks. I'm just filling it all in with this one color. So let's do something like that. I think that would be pretty cool. So placing down the tracks where these are going to go. It's a little bit of a dark background here, but c'est la vie. Let's define it with a color. And then we'll just put the tracks where the color are located. So let's put down our little wave. So I kind of like this idea of making like a sine wave. Or a cosine wave, whatever. And it could just be pretty simplistic. Like that. We also have the ability to copy and paste. If I was like, oh, I want these to move over just slightly, we can use the grid here. Do an X, and then I can just go over here and just go one like that. We could also move it down a little bit if we wanted. So we can see that these are too high. We got a 3 gap here. So it's not going to be perfect. We can move these down just a little bit if we want to do this to make it even. Something like that. We could also move this down a little bit. Like that. So, sort of like a little wave, right? I'm going to resave that as night 4. And I think what we're going to do is just have the blocks go back and forth between this, like this. So, now that we have our wave, let's go ahead and build out our tracks on top of it. So here are our tracks. Eventually these are going to be like waves, like water, because it's hydropower that is being mixed with biofuels here in this level. Right now they're tracks because it came from an action platformer, where tracks were what platforms moved on. This is going to be the blocks moving like on rivers of water once we have the art in place. So side-to-side flat tracks, there's only going to be one over here and one over here. Now I'm clicking, the platforms are drawn on top of it, so we'll see it when it comes to be. Also here, the tracks are going to have to be slightly different because of they have to move. So I'll show that in a bit. So this one's going to go like this, and it's going to rotate like this. If we went into the platforms and deleted these two, we can now see that those are right there. So what we're going to do is grab these corner ones. And the corner one, by default, is one of these ones. So we're going to put one here. We're going to rotate it, put one here, rotate it, and here. And we're just going to kind of go back and fill this in. Oops. Add 2. There it is. And once we get the basics down here, we can go back in here and see how we're doing in terms of building that out. So this is the kind of framework we're doing for the wave. So I can get this. That's an uppy downy. That's going to fill in those gaps right there. And there you go. We already have a track that's going like this. So it's going to go like this, and it's going to go down. So we can kind of Come on now. Wait, what did I do? Did I crash the game? No, 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 no. This has never happened before. Alright, clearly the command prompt's still going on. So I can go like that. I saved the state of whatever it was. What did I click on? Clicked on this? Can I exit? Oh, I clicked on the Lego icon. Oh, you can still click on the Lego icon when you're in the level editor up here. And now it's like the level editor doesn't exist, but the UI is still on screen. That's what I did. Jeez. Yeah, it's my game. I'm so smart. So we'll, I think, do something like that. Dope. And then this one will be rotated and go down like this. So do. And it's gonna go right around town. So a lot of ziggy zaggies. Scooby Doobies. So all this stuff was made in engine. This is all custom. Hence why it's a little jank in terms of like accessibility. Alright, so up, and then we're just gonna mirror it on the other side. So we can just delete these, and we're gonna mirror what we're doing on the other side here. So we're gonna put one up like that. This one's gonna be right there. And then this one's gonna be 1, 2. It's gonna be skipping 1, 2, and then 1, 2 like that. Actually, oh, I went over one further here than I did. It's fine. It won't mirror it identically. Oop, scoop. But that's all good. Doesn't need to. Doesn't need to, he says to himself while he's thinking, I really wished it did. Okay, we're almost done here. Nope. Alright, then we're just going to put a track down here and we're going to connect it to that. This is totally going to be worth it. This is the least UI friendly element of all of the elements in the game. Yeah, see that one can just be like that. It's like a little different. We did it! Alright, now we can test our track here to make sure that it actually works. So we're just going to throw a red brick on here, say true, and he'll just go to the right. If we make it negative, he should go to the left. Then we'll make a faster one, the green one. He'll up his speed to 120. And we'll go that way, and then we'll just make it negative, and he'll go the other way. And let's test that the track works. Okay. Looks pretty good. Sweet. So, part 1 is good. So, now we have this cool little wave design. And we're going to have the biofuels. And I believe the pollen, I want the pollen to kind of be in these gaps. The pollen gets to change the color of the bricks that are around it. So we're going to take pollinators. And I'm just going to put 2 like this. Right near the spots. You can put 2 down here for this one. First, we'll add like a lot, like over where... Well, we don't want it too close to the track, actually, on these sides. Okay. Yeah, let's give this a little space. Something like that. So these will be able to change the color of the blocks as we go along. Now this is assuming, I'm actually going to remove these 2 because you need some space, that you can get a color. So then we have to think about, are the color bricks moving, the things that allow you to change color, or the energy bricks, the ones that you actually have to destroy to beat the level? Which are moving? They could both be moving. We probably only want one of the types moving. So I think what we're going to do is have the color bricks moving here. Or the energy bricks, I mean. So that they can be switching colors as they're moving along. And generally, if we're moving, you want there to be only a couple colors. If you get more than a couple colors, it kind of gets crazy. And by crazy, not like in the fun way. So let's think about where we want to put the color bricks first. I'm going to do a really quick check, see what colors we've used in this world. I try to vary it up. We got 6 colors. Just kind of do a quick eye test. Make sure everything's being used. We have very little orange in biofuels. Do an orange green. What is that? The Oregon Ducks or something like that? Alright. So we're going to do an orange. These are not going to go on the track. So I like the ability of the player choosing at the outset. If you hold left, you can go green. If you just go straight down, you can get orange. We're also going to put some of these on other parts of the level. Like we can put ones here if you want to change the color. Could put one up here too. Why not? We'll just put ones in the corner. So now we have those in place. Now we're going to put the color bricks down, and these are going to be the ones that are moving. So we're going to take the orange here, and we're going to put these on a platform. So it was kind of fun having them overlap and having the same speeds. And because it's a circuit where they're bouncing off, we can put them in sync. So first we'll do orange. And I think we're going to keep it at speed of 60. Once it's a little faster than that, 60 is kind of a default internal speed. It gets a little untenable. So we're going to put an orange here, here, here. And then we'll do the same but in negative going the other way. Here, here, and here. Then we'll do green. And these are going to be on the verticals. So going down in this game is a positive direction, and going up is a negative direction. And that's just the way that the coordinate system works in X and A. This is built off of model game X and A. And in most video game coordinate systems, the y-axis is actually negative going up and positive going down. It's unlike normal geometry where the y-axis is usually positive, negative. So when we do a negative speed, it's actually going up. So if I want these to be going down, this is positive, 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 because I want them to go into the right. And if I want them going up, I would be moving this down. But I actually want them going down here the same. Because that means these will intersect on either sides. So we can actually do that. And then let's vary them up a little bit here. I kind of want to do like orange, green, orange, green, orange, green, orange, green. So let's make these two orange. These are both going down. That looks pretty nice. We'll put some green ones here. We want these going up. So these are going to be negative. Put them here. And that's not that many, right? We have one more spot here we could do. And why don't we just make these green and we'll make them negative, which is what we already have. Not that many bricks, but it's something to start with. And we can go ahead and delete these guys up here. Let's go ahead and save that. So let's just take a look at it in motion, see if it's working as we expected. And it is. Pretty cool. So if I'm orange, you can see the orange ones are highlighted. Green, green are highlighted, showing that those are the ones I can hit. Now we can see if our pollinators are working. So these guys are only going to work in a 1 unit proximity until I get a combo. So these might not actually be close enough. No, none of these are actually close enough with no combo. So if we wanted to have to earn a combo before we hit the blocks, as you can see, it's a little bit challenging here. Boom, already lost my combo. So what we're going to do is actually add some more blocks to build up a combo in order for these to work. And it also allows us to get a little bit of momentum in the level. So it's not just trying to hit the blocks that we want. And I use the term blocks and bricks interchangeably. It's like whatever. So for these guys, what we can do is we're just going to surround these each with some bricks. A blocks, A whatever. Because you can choose either or, we can just swap which ones these are. So why don't we just do orange for this one. And we'll just make this orange. And orange, green, green. Like this. Poop. There it is. Cool. So I'll save that. Now we have the ability to get some combo so that these actually do some work on the ones rotating around. It also gives us some flexibility that if we gain enough combo that these ones can even affect ones on other pods. So this is going to be significantly different. And let's try it out. So I can like become orange. Go down here. Now that the combo's up, let's see if it's working. Currently, this should be doing one that's a 2 radius, so it's still not big enough to hit the ones above it. So we might need to move the pollinators here, because after a 1 combo, I kind of want them to change the color. But let me show what that means. So if I get a combo of 3, and by combo of 3 I mean the combo level is 2. Now let's see if this works. So you can see that changed the color of the one there. We got an orange one coming down the pike. It is not working on the moving ones. I wonder if it needs to be exact position. tested this before. Maybe I haven't. Did I not test this? Does this just not work? Uh-oh. I mean, that one is... I mean, look how far the radius is on that. Yeah, this is not working. Why? Are we gonna have to do a coding adventure? I want this to work. Yeah, it's not working. Alright. So, I think this would work if we fixed some stuff. So we're actually gonna look at how these pollinators work, because they're eventually gonna be flowers. I thought that what it does is, I'm actually gonna pull in GIMP really quick. Show the art. And we're gonna have to do a little coding adventure. Which means we're probably not getting 3 levels done, but whatever. Alright, so I'm gonna share GIMP here. Okay, so here's GIMP. Art. So if I go and do a new one, whatever, and we'll zoom in. And let's make sure it's working. There you go. So what we have is we have our little pollinator flower. Right now it's just this white cube. It kind of looks like this, right? Now, when I have bricks around it, this is a 1 distance. So this is 1. And then, you know, if there was another brick here, that's 2 and 3, right? So when you hit a pollinator with a color, right away by default, it's going to hit all of these bricks and make them that color. It's a 1 distance away. When you get a combo up to a combo level 1, like you're increasing your power of your range, it gets all of these as well. And then when you get like a 3, it's going to go even further. So you can really start changing the color as your combo goes up of these pollen, and the pollen animation will get bigger once there's an animation in place. So right now we have moving bricks. So if say we had a moving brick, and we'll just make that, I don't know, blue. These bricks that are normally are static. So these can be static bricks that are within this range. But right now we have a moving brick. Actually, we'll make it like, I don't know, orange or something like that. And these moving bricks are moving within range of our pollinator. So as this brick is moving through this range, and I hit this brick right here, it should be changing all the bricks in this range that are moving through to this color that I just hit. But I think what it's doing right now is, rather than looking at a range and saying, hey, all bricks within that range change color, it might be looking at the individual positions of all the bricks that are in that range and changing those, which is probably doing. So we need to take a look at the method to make sure it's hitting moving bricks that are going through it. And then also making sure that it's not necessarily just the ones that have the right positions exactly on the coordinate system, but ones that could be intermediate positions that are moving through it. So what we're going to do here is do a little coding adventure. Just try to fix this. Because I said that, hey, I don't want to make it so that pollinators are moving. That in itself is a big code update, but I don't think this is a big code update. So where is my timer? Hello? Live split? Oh, it's over here. So we're going to show live split. Here it is. So we're going to do a coding adventure. We're going to time ourselves here. This is our timer. We're going to put it, I don't know, right here. Right above my face. Just kidding. Down here. So we need to show Visual Studio. Screen goes black. Do 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 do. You still get the cool music. Do 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 do. Is this showing it? Come on. Visual Studio. There it is. Cool. It's the code. Ooh. All right. Our coding adventure starts in 3, 2, 1. Yoo-hoo! So what we need to do is find the pollinator object and see how it's doing what it's doing. So we're going to go to the right here. It's in a folder called Interactive Objects, I believe. And we have a whole lot of stuff in here from the other game that I mentioned that this is based off of called Blister Blight. Is it here? What did I call it? I think I called it something. I always do a little search. Pollen. Pollen. No. Bio. Biomass pollinator. There you go. Okay, so we're going to scroll down to what's happening. So I think a lot of this is actually happening in the player class, but we also do have a method here. So a couple methods here. So here we see there's nothing actually that's happening in the update class for these guys. Now some of this stuff's a little bit jank because I was trying to do this quickly. And some of it is due to the shorter and more compact nature of the game. So here, if you collide with a pollinator, you're supposed to change the color based on the ball's color, yep. And change the color of all the bricks surrounding it to its color. And I say currently this is done in the player class. So that's why there's no update method that's going on loop for pollinators. However, there are 2 methods here which control that changing of color. So this method is called here, change color and pollinate. If I right click and say go final references, this will go and we can see it's called multiple times in the player class. This player class is like where the ball does its actions. And all of these things just say, hey, if you collide with it, shoot off this method. That's all that's happening here. So I don't think that any of what we need to do is here necessarily in the player class. I think it's in the pollinator class. So what happens when you change color and you hit this thing? The color type of the pollinator becomes your color. That's why it changes to orange when you're orange. There is a little sound effect. It's very, not very loud right now. That's fine. And then it'll probably have a new sound effect. Right now it's just like a very simple hitting the wall sound effect. And then this is the big old method that actually does the magic. So this is probably the method that we need to update so that moving bricks work. So we're getting a list of all the positions that we need to change. So these are all the platforms within a given range to change. So naturally you have a couple for loops. Here we actually have 3 deep. And let's see what it's doing here. So we're going to go through our combo level. So as I noted in GIMP, right here. Wait, why is... Whoa! GIMP? Hello? Art program. Oh, it's just a visual glitch. So here's GIMP. Does this make sense to you? We just talked about this. So this brick right here, this black one in the middle, that's the pollinator. The combo level is the things that trigger on the outside. So as the combo level gets bigger, the radius of the pollinator gets bigger. So our distance is 16 pixels. So our grid is a 16 by 16 grid. So each square, so to speak, is 16 by 16. So the distance is 16 times I plus 1. I starting at 0 could start at 1. Usually for loops, I starts at 0. That's why we're doing plus 1. And we're saying this is the distance that we're going to be looking at. And then what we're going to do is we're going to look at the x distance and then the y distance. So it's going through x, so it's starting at negative of that, and it's going all the way till it reaches the end and keeps adding 16. And then once we have the x, we're going to do y as well. We're also excluding the center point because that's where the pollinator is. And it looks like this is the big thing. So it says, I'm only including tiles exactly at this ring and not inside it. So that's where it says, hey, if the absolute value of it, I don't know why we're doing the absolute value because this is always going to be a integer number. But it's saying, hey, if we are going to get the ones to change, it needs to be the exact position of x and y. And then it's going to add those positions that we have to a list called positions to change. So these are going to get all the positions of where the color could theoretically change. Then it's going to go through all of the platforms in the level. This could be a limited selection, but because there's so few platforms on screen, like at the most, you're ever going to have like 50 or 100 platforms on screen. Performance-wise, it's not a big deal just to loop through them all every time you hit one. And saying, hey, for every single one of these platforms, does this position to change contain, or is it equal to, actually, the platform? So it's not contains, it's equal to. So it's going to go through all the different color types because it's saying, hey, it both needs to be the same position and the platform's color subtype needs to be the given color of the pollinator itself. Oh, no. It just needs to make sure that the color subtype that it's trying to change is an energy brick. So there's a lot of different color subtypes for objects for platforms. So you have like the color ones, you have the energy ones that you can change, you have like the rotation ones. There's a lot of different types. It's just saying, hey, we're not going to change colors of ones that aren't energy bricks that you have to destroy to beat the stage. If that's true, go ahead and change that color to the color of the pollinator, i.e. the player's type at that time. So our big thing here is this. Is very explicitly saying it needs to be exactly at this ring. So as we noted here, it's looking for these positions. Now I'm just going to move this around. If you have any object on screen, say you have a box, its position is the top left coordinate of the box. So this position right here might be like a coordinate of 16, 16. Where this is the x and this is the y. So this box's position is 16, 16 if it's the top left corner. So say we had a row of boxes like this, and it's looping through x positions, it would start here, and then it would go over 16, and it would get the position of this one, which is this box right here. And then we go 16, and it would get the position of this box right here. And then so you were going to loop in the y-axis like this. Then it would go down 16. Remember, this is plus 16 because in X and A encoding here, positive is going down. It would get then this one, and this one, and this one, until you have a great enough radius for it all. We're going to quickly do new music. We're going to be very smart. We're going to do a classical piano. No. Because we need to be smart while coding. Okay. So that's what's happening right now. Now, if I was going to change this and say, hey, it doesn't need to be the exact distance. It could be anything within that distance. That's going to fundamentally change what we're doing down here. Because here what we're doing is we're checking to see whether the position of the platforms on this grid are exactly 16 away. Because everything is a brick that is 16 by 16. We don't have bricks that are not aligned with it. And this actually, now that I say that, is a bug that we have. So I just remembered that. We can defeat 2 bugs with 1 go. So there's a bug right here. If you have a pollinator in the bottom left next to 2 size energy brick, it's not changing color. Well, why would that be the case? So the nuclear bricks are 32 by 32. So we're going to change this back to black. So say you have a nuclear brick, which is bigger. So this is a 2 by 2 brick. So the nuclear brick is this big 2 by 2. It's just a bigger size. So this is a 32 pixel brick. This is 16 and 16. Where normal ones are only 16. Now, if you had a pollinator that was right down here, it would be changing the positions of this one and this one. So all the bricks around this pollinator at these different positions would be changing their color. Because that would be bricks that are, say, like this. It'd be like this brick. It'd be a brick in here. So all of these are changing the color. However, because this giant brick here, this 2 by 2 one, its position's right here. Which means normally you would think that this pollinator would be able to affect it because it's right next door. However, because the actual position of the big brick is up here, it's not working. And that's why there was the bug of when we hit this pollinator, the big brick right next to it is not changing color. So, what we need to do is change the method such that you are able to see, are there any bricks where not necessarily their position, that just overlap with this space. And what we can do is a little bit different. Instead of doing this methodology where we're getting a list of positions and then seeing, okay, are there any bricks that are at those exact positions? What we can do is instead get one square, which is, let's use a different color here. Let's use pink. And we'll increase the size a little bit. So we're going to get this square right here around it. And what we can do is say, hey, if any platforms overlap with this square or intersect with this square, then change their color. And then as the combo goes up, say the combo went up and it would be a bigger square like this, we'll just increase the size of our square. This will also be helpful because this square is going to be eventually the animation position centered around the pollinator block in the middle. With that in mind, we're going to have to completely change what's happening here. So the first thing we want to do is, instead of getting a list of positions to change, what we need to do is just get the top left position. So if we have our pollinator brick right here. At combo level of 0 originally, it's going to be able to start the square here, and this is going to be negative 16, negative 16. So this position right here, this is where we want our position of our square to be, because that's what's going to be the original sprite going around it, or box. And then as the combo level goes up, our position is going to keep going up negative 16 more. And then that one would be a combo level of 1. And it would increase the position to be this square. Boom. So our position is going to be this. We're going to create a, change the color. We'll just ignore what we're doing here. We'll just do it at the top. And we're going to say our top left corner equals a new vector 2. So what is our x position? We said our x position is going to be, we can get the player's combo level here. So it's going to be our position.x minus 16. And that 16 is going to be similar to this. It's going to be multiplying by the combo level plus 1. So it's gonna, I think it's going to be like this. We can just do this if we want. And then for now, we're just going to say y is 16. I know it's not, but just to take a look at this. So right here, say the combo level was 0. That's what you start at. We want to make sure it's 16 when it's 0. So if this is 0, it'll be 0 plus 1, which is 1. 16 times 1 is 16. So our position will be the minus 16, which will be at this point right here, which is what we want. If the combo level goes up plus 1, it'll be 1 plus 1 is 2. So it'll be 16 times 2, which is negative 32, which will be this position, which is great. And technically, we're just doing the x right now. So technically, it would be like out here and out here. But once we do the y, it'll also shift up to here and here. So then our y is going to be the same, except we're just looking at our position.y. So this top left corner, this vector, is going to be that position. Now we're going to need to create a rectangle object. The rectangle object is going to be all of this. So in this square, it would be like this, the smaller one. And if we were going to get a bigger combo, it would simply be a little bit bigger. It would include this outer area too. So now we're going to do a var new rectangle. Or we're going to say, actually, var pollinator radius. Or not radius, pollinator range. Pollinator square. I don't know. Pollinator square. The pollen range, pollen. Range square. New rectangle. Now, with a rectangle, you have to specify the x and y coordinate and then how wide and tall it is. So, rectangles have to be an integer whereas vectors can be a floating point, which is normally like a decimal. It's an easy way to think about it. So our x-coordinate is just going to be our top left corner dot x, and then top left corner dot y. I'll just say 1, 1 just to finish the object. Now it's saying, hey, you can't do this because it's expecting an integer. So we can just cast it as an int, knowing that the positions there at the top are really integers. So we're not going to lose any decimals or something when we're translating this. Now that's our x and y. Now what is our width and height? Well, if we take a look at this, our original width is 16 times 3, because we have our 16 and then we're adding 16 on both sides. So every time we go up a level, we're increasing the width and height by 32. So we're starting at 16, then it's plus 32 plus 32. So here, our width and height are going to be the same. And it's going to be 16 plus, and this is 32 times, again, the combo level plus 1. So if we want to do this, we can just move this down to the next line, make it a little easier to see. And it's going to be the exact same thing here, except just 32. And if we really wanted to be explicit, we could do this. Let's see here. We don't have our parens. Okay. So we have our 16, which are our base width of the pollinator. And then we're adding 32 times combo level plus 1. Again, if this is 0, it'll be 0 plus 1, so it'll be 16 plus 32. And as the combo level goes up, it'll keep increasing that radius by 32. Here, we don't have to hard code 16. You could say just the width. We have the width. If we wanted to say the entity width and the entity height. We know it's actually 16 because we know the width and height of these pollinators does not change. But for the sake here, we'll just put that. So now we have our square. And the square is going to dynamically change as this gets bigger. So instead of having a set of positions to change, we just have the square of the giant range of the pollen. So that's part 1. Part 2 is going to be changing this. So I'm just going to copy this and move it up here. And we don't have positions to change anymore. That's fine. We still want to make sure that the platforms are colors, which is essentially here. These are 6 colors. You see purple. Originally, the 6th color was going to be purple, but it kind of changed into cyan. But it's still in the code is called purple. Whatever. So instead of saying, hey, are the positions exactly the same here? So instead of saying, hey, out of all these, do I have any that are this position? What we're going to do is say, hey, does this square intersect with this? So we're going to take our square here. And we're saying, does this square and instead of getting position of the platform, because if we look back here at this position is outside of the square, the pollinator square. So this is the pollinator square, but they overlap So this object, this platform here, I know I'm using the same color, it's not very helpful. This square right here is overlapping with the bigger square. Right here. Right? They're overlapping. That means it needs to be caught. It doesn't matter that the position of the bigger guy is out here. So we don't want to use the platform's position. We just want to get the platform's rectangle and see, do the rectangles intersect? And we can do that. We have all that information available in the object. So what we're going to do is we're going to say if this square, and then we can do dot intersects. And we're going to get their current platform, and we can just get its boundary. I think it's called boundary. Dot. Wait. Oh, impenetrable collision box. Dot boundary. So there are two types of collision boxes. They're an impenetrable and just a normal collision box. These again come from the origin of the source code, which was a platformer. So there are some boxes you can kind of move through and some you can't. In any case, this box has a boundary. This boundary is a rectangle. So now what we're saying is, hey, this platform's boundary, does it intersect with our big square? And if so, then we'll change its color if it's the right type of block. So there you go. Now all of this stuff down here, we'll just comment it out. We can always actually delete it later. But we took all that coding based off of actual position, and all we had to do was just get the square based off of where it's located and say, does it intersect? Now we get to see if it works. So let's start it up and see if it works. So different visual bug, that's a different coding adventure. We're not changing this menu. Okay. So we're going to go to a level that we have nothing in right now as a test. So we're just going to have this be a test. Okay. So we have a color brick. We're just going to say yellow. And we're going to get our pollinator object here. And we're going to get, say, orange. And the first test is it working as intended? We can also do a different one here where it is the bottom. So is it working like this? We also want to put in a test, can I hit it from the side? So if I hit this and one like this and one like this, let's put it over here. Blue and red. So this is what, 151? Oops. Alright, so this is our first test. So I'm yellow. Is this changing the color? It does. Good. Does this change the color of the ones above it? It does. If I hit it from the side, does it work? Cool. And over here, works too. Very good. So thus far, that's working. Now we need to test combo level 2 to make sure as the size increases, is it working? So what we're going to do here is we are just going to have a little bit of area to build up a combo. So that means this should be able to affect radius of 2. And once the combo level's at 3, this should be able to affect the ones furthest on the right. So we're just going to put just a whole bunch of bricks here to change color. Just whatever. 1, 2, 3. Boom, up combo level 1. So now, this one over here should affect both of them. It does. If we go over here, it should only affect the leftmost two, which it does, which is great. I'll get a couple more. And now it should affect all of them. Pretty good. So now we want to test our big brick, our nuclear bricks. And this is the bug we were encountering before. I have to remove these, I guess. Is we have this one, and then we are going to create a bigger one. And we actually want that to be a different color. So now if I hit this block, previously it would not work because the position is right here. But the way we changed it, technically these should overlap. We can also test it with an even bigger one over here. Let's make the size bigger. Like that. And does that work? So let's go ahead and save this and try it out. So we're yellow. And does this change? Beautiful. Woohoo! It's working. Boom. All right, pretty great. The final test is the moving block test, which is we can just go straight to the stage to see if it's going to work. So we're going to go back to the first level that we were making today. And we can see right away, this is, as you can see, 1, 2, 3 away here. So once we get a combo level of 2, technically if I keep hitting these, all the bricks that move into range at the time of hitting it should change color. So we'll just get our combo level up to 2. Now right away, these are not close enough. But once I get this up to 1 more, now all bricks here should change to green once they get within range. It did? It did! Look! It changed! Yes! It's working! This is why coding is so fun. Especially with making games. Now they're all orange. Or green. Now what's great about the moving stuff is, say I went to orange and I was just going over here. That is so good. And then as the combo level goes up, it gets even wider. I can keep changing the bricks around. That's amazing. Look at that. So good. Oh, I broke my combo. And now you see the combo's broken, so the range is not as great. So this orange is not changing the green one because it's not close enough. We did it! First try. Woohoo! Coding adventure over. Victory! Now we get to actually try out our level. Alright, 3243. Pretty good. Pretty good for that kind of update. Okay. And we actually resolved 2 bugs. We resolved this bug too. Done. Cool. Let's go ahead and try out our level now. Where's my thingy? Splits. We're done with the splits. Alright, now let's see if the level actually works. So now I can go pop, pop. Alright. So just sitting in this position doesn't do anything. Oh, that's cool. That works. I'm not playing very well. I think there needs to be more moving bricks. Now that we have the ability in place, you can kind of just cruise with them. Like, look at that. That is really cool. That's actually going to completely change the potential for also the Omega levels, because I really wanted to do more with the Omega levels too. Okay. So, pretty great. We're going to limit some of these, I think. Like these over here, I think these are a little bit much to have like even more over here. So why don't we do this over here? Give it a little bit of space as well. I think this will be enough. If we limit the, give yourself a little bit more room to breathe. And then we'll add a few more on these tracks. As we go. So we're just going to take some oranges. Make sure we're putting them on the tracks. And the ones in the corners are a little bit tricky. I never remember which direction they move. Whether they initially move up, left, right, or left, or down. But we're just going to put +1. So the ones that have like a little L shape like that, we'll put 1 here. And I think it's fine if it's a little bit chaotic. Positive over there. Bop. Bop. We'll do greeny. Bop. Bop. Negative. Let's just fill the whole thing up. Come on now, we have the power of pollinators. Now that the bug is fixed, we have unlimited power. Unlimited power, unlimited possibilities. And we can always make it less if we so choose. And then we still haven't filled it all up. We got these out here. We were so careful with our original placements. Not anymore. All right, let's see what this looks like now. Oh, there's a couple that just weren't on tracks that I thought were on tracks. Oopsie. That one, and that one, and that one, and that one. Oh, yeah. Very good. Boop. Boop. Uh-oh. Yep. Oh, I need one more combo. Boop. There it is. And now I can change these to the color. Oh, they're all green! No, I switched to orange. Wait. Aha! Now the trick of this whole game is to do it fast. But it is kind of fun to say that they're all green now. Boom. Bam. Now we're not solving that bug today. Where if you hit a moving brick, it doesn't always change color. that we're not changing. Also, you can see the breadth of this is like, oh, I did the fun part, and now I'm kind of cleaning up and saying, well, how quickly can I really do this? Like this one also, I can't get to. It's like I can't even beat the level now. Alright, so we have to do a few more corrections to this. So we're going to remove a couple here. We're going to remove these two. And these two. And then over here, we're going to remove this one and this one. Yeah. Actually, we're going to do this. I like the idea of having a couple that have more here when you're starting to get the combo up, but then these have less. Okay. Let's see if we can beat this in under a minute. If you can beat a level in under a minute, generally I move on. Some levels are just challenging. Too bad. Let's try to beat this in under a minute. Now we're probably going to try to cheese to get in there. Oop. Oop. And now we get over here. Basically, I think all I have to do is get the combo level up to 2. And now, basically, I can hit this, make those green. Dope. And I should be golden. Yep, they're all green now. And now I can just hit these. Bam. And the last couple. Pretty good! It's a level now! That level only took an hour and 10 minutes with our coding adventure. Normally levels take about a half hour. So that was well worth it. Beautiful. Alright, we'll save that guy, make sure it's saved. What are we going to name this? Wavelength? It just named itself. Do I already have a level named Wavelength? Let's do a quick control find. Wave. Wave, sun, and... Nope. Wave shift. Ooh, I could have wave shift and then wave length later. Ooh. Although these aren't going to be in order. And this is orange and green. And we got pollen and moving. Woohoo! One down. One down on the old quest list. There it is. Zoop. We did the zoom. Come on now. Let me change it. Ta-da! Okay, I only have time today for one more. That coding adventure was unexpected. I gotta be finished a little bit before 1 today. So We can either do a windmills level, or we can do an omega low level. Let's do an omega low level. So the final world. Have a little bit crazier time with it. We can wait for the windmills level later. We only need one more in that world. Alright, we're gonna go over here. Omega is the final world. It can combine any number of mechanics, whereas previous worlds can only have a maximum of 2 mechanics. The world itself and any world prior to it. Omega is just like throwing caution to the wind. And at that point in time, you've played through all 9 worlds beforehand, and you're ready for the challenge. So the one we did last time was called Maintenance. And this one uses pollinators, warps, and rotation. So if we take a look at this one, you become blue, and you go over here, and you can make these blue, and you can make these blue. You can avoid the other colors, and you're like, well, what am I doing? Well, eventually... Oh, no, now I'm making cyan. Eventually you can hit the blocks, right? And eventually you can get combo. And as we know with pollinators, as the combo goes up, you can oh, no, not making it yellow. It's fine. So now you see the pollen hit these. So if I'm careful... Oh, it wasn't long enough. I thought it was... I thought the pollen was going to hit the blue ones above it. But yeah, it's a tricky level where you can basically try to do it. I did it pretty quickly the one time. Come on. So if I wanted to make these yellow, or just blue again. And then the idea of the sidewayed ones is that you can get in there and get the other ones too. So it's a harder level. I'm not going to do it again because I don't have time. By now, you would have failed, and you just restart. Oh, this was 151. Wait a second. What number is this? 95. Okay. We also want to save this one, the Omega one we did with our testing. We were saving it as 151, which was our testing level. We also want to save this at 95. Okay. Now that should be saved at 95. And we're just going to restart the game just to verify that it worked. Let's make sure it's in there. There it is. All right. Oh, it's an older version. Wait, this is 94? I got it wrong. Whatever, it's saved somewhere. It didn't overwrite anything. I'll fix that later off stream. It's not important. Let's go to Omega 8. We'll just do this one. It's saved. Zoop. The reason I put some up there is so that if I accidentally click off, the level doesn't just end. So this is 152. Okay. So, what we're gonna do is maybe we'll make a picture. We haven't really done any pictures for Omega. Most of the Omega levels thus far are just like designs or something really tricky. In fact, I don't think we have a picture yet. We have this one. That's not a picture. Pocket dimensions. That's not a picture. That's like a design. Okay, we have a choo-choo train. We have one picture. There's layers. Fireworks. Sort of a picture. A little bit scattered. And then the one I just showed. Alright, what's a cool picture? I did fireworks, like, you won! Hooray! We already have a birthday cake one earlier on. Some sort of celebration. I think I've done balloons, although balloons... Eh. 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 What about a present? Have I done gifts yet? Have I done like gifts with little bows? There's just some piles of gifts. Presents. Could do that. Like different size gifts. You can have like a tall one, and you have a medium one, and then like a different one. And then the mechanics will be figured out later. This is going to be a sketchpad one. We'll have our beautiful green gift. This is our tall box. Okay. And then we're going to have our big box right next to it. Maybe like behind it. You know how like you have a little bit of an overlap here? This is our big box. And then, oh wait, did I? Alright, I did not delete the invisible barrier. And then maybe in the background here, we have like a bigger box, and that one's orange. We're doing orange again? Yellow. What is the ribbon? The ribbons can be red. Red on green is kind of what you expect. Alright, that's another present. And then there's even another present in the background. And this one is, now there is a cityscape level, which is like buildings, which just kind of looks like this. Very challenging level in windmills that I actually need to reconstruct. The level code is saved somewhere, and I have a recording of it. But all right, so now that we have this, we need to create the ribbons for the presents so they don't look like buildings. So the ribbon, this will be the ribbon going across. And then there'll be a little bow. Is that... Yeah, it's a ribbon. Maybe it should just be up the right side like that. There you go. That's clearly a present. I think we'll just have to do this. Wow, that ribbon's huge. And then we're going to have our box right here. The cyan ribbon will be orange. It's a orange ribbon. There we go. And this one's gonna have one like this. Beautiful. We're pixel arting. Okay. Then the blue one in the back is gonna have green ribbon. There's so no space for all this stuff. And then the yellow one, we'll make it work. We have all the mechanics at our disposal. The yellow one will have, what color have we not used yet? 1, 2, 3. We've used all the colors. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. Red 2? And this one's in front of that one. So it's gonna go like that. Oh yeah. These are, look at our presents. We got 4 of them. Now, how can I make this work at all? Let's take a quick look at our tools at our disposal. Oh, we can shine light in there. Oh, excuse me. They could be on fire. I think the insides of the gift are going to need to be hollow. We're not going to do hydropower. I'm going to try to avoid... I think we're going to do another instance of geothermal with nuclear. So we're going to have geothermal, nuclear, and then maybe something else. So the geothermal allows us to blaze through boxes. We are going to carve out some space in the middle of these boxes. So like here, we're going to do this. And then we are going to have some nuclear bricks, which are the big ones. And I think these are going to be the bows. Like that. And like this. Oop, opa. Oh, no, here. Oop, right there. And then those are our bows. But I also like having bows in the middle of them. Okay. So now we have that, which is great. Now, theoretically, you could just go in here and go pop, 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 and this would just work. But I think what we want is a little bit of a barrier to it, and also the ability to plow through to a different part of it. So we're going to get some geothermal energy in here. It's not actually that big. And I think what we're going to do is I'm just going to line the whole side with it. So I think it'd be interesting. Not the whole side, but like the edges. This. So then once I go in here, I can go, but I can't make it all the way to the other side, I don't think. To go like this. You might be able to. I think you stop right around here. Then in here, what we need are different color bricks in order to hit these. So if I go, I can hit green, or I can hit red, or I can hit cyan or orange. So what we need here are red. And this might just be a geothermal level now that I think about it. I don't think we need anything more right now. I think we're just making a geothermal level. That's fine. This doesn't need to be Omega. All right, so orange right there. I think the red can be here. And then I think we could also have red here. Oh, yeah. No, this is really good. This is green. This one should actually be red. It's not going to look perfect. Actually do this. Oh yeah, this is fine. Because we can just do that. And then we're going to grab this. It does these barely bear the resemblance of presents right now. We could refill them because we have fire now. Oh no, cyan. And then if I want to close out the edges, sometimes I do this on levels where I just want to close out the edges and have less space. Occasionally those edges are like a colored brick just to make it a little bit more flashy. I think here though, that's fine. This could work as a geothermal level rather than as an omega level. I don't think we need any other mechanics. So the idea being that at the top, we actually need to change these two. You're plowing through, you're going to hit a color that's helpful to you no matter where you go. However, as bricks get destroyed, those might not be as helpful, but you can still plow through to different locations. And only when you hit the top or the bottom do these change. Let's try it out. This is 152. So we can go, and now I'm red, and I'm in here. But I could like go in here, hit these. I could skip to my loo. That one hit green. Can I make it all the way over? I can. But I would need to hit the green first. Now I'm stuck in here. Now this is bad. But if I went... Oh. What about... Alright, this almost works. We need more. Just do it all. You filled up the whole space. I don't think I've ever done that before. It could work. Trust the process. And you go in here and you go bop. And then bop. And then and I'm green, but I can go zoom. And then zoom. Boop. Zoom. And then that one. And then no. Despite it all, I lost my combo. Wait, I need to go. Oh, you can't even hit those now. We did it. So here, if I want to go up here and go bonk, I can't hit those. So actually we need to remove a couple. So I can hit that. Yep. This thing goes here. All right. Now, is it quicker just to do this? So just go through it in lines. And just completely ignore the colors. I mean, we can, right? Let's see. Bup, 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 bup. 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 So there's that. Now if we actually try to use the colors, is it faster? Now that I have combo, I can attempt to go down here and go bop. I've already lost it. I've already lost all progress. Surely. That's faster. Hmm. I need more big bricks. I need more bonuses for doing it good. So that you can't rely purely on the fire. Or that, like, you can get a benefit for not doing it. So, like, I want it all. One there. And one there. One there. And then we can go. Mm-hmm. I think that's it. Put another one here, orange, but I don't think I want to. Yippee. There you go. Pop, 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 pop. And then I can go. Zoom. If I want to get the green ones, I actually want to go get that one and go bop. And hit these and go bop. Oh yeah, we're gaming. Oh, I thought it was green. No, no. I'm still significantly slower. Nope. So then, zoom, and then, zoom. Okay. Dang it. Is it still slower? It is. The first way where I completely ignored combos is still faster. That means we just need more big bricks. We need nuclear to take control. Yeah. What are we looking at? Oh wait. I need to save it. Bam, 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 bam. Thank you, ma'am. Dang it. And we go and what color am I? Dang. Alright, the fire in some of these aspects are too powerful. It's almost 1 o'clock. I gotta go. Oh no, I ran out of time. Alright, this one's almost playable. We're gonna have to call it here. And this one's gonna be called something. I don't know. Flaming presents? Our birthday's on fire! I'm not sure. It's also not an Omega level, because we only have 2 mechanics. We could add a third, but I don't know how it would help. Unless we added antimatter. And really just wrecked. At that point in time, I would completely trivialize it, unless it was a really weird speed level. Alright, we're going to do that really quick. So instead of there, our little guy is going to spawn up here. Where are my objects? Yeah. Like that. This is the final version for today. Don't. It's just. They're so not in sync. This is a terrible idea. No. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Just kidding. Just kidding. Failed experiment. It doesn't work there. Nope. Alright, we're going to end the stream right there for today. We had a coding adventure. We fixed the pollinators, which was great. This level is almost something, but you don't see the presence anymore. That it just looks like a hodgepodge. And we already have a level called Hodgepodge, so we might be revisiting this one. There's an idea here that isn't fully realized. But thanks for all who tuned in today, as we did a little bit of level editing and some coding in this Saturday. Thanks for all who are going to watch this later on Twitch and YouTube. I'll be back on Monday playing some more Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. It's been a lot of fun thus far. It'll be a 3rd day playing that. That's it. As always, love you guys. Jesus loves you too. I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.